Welcome to my Runic Journey spiritual self-development workshop. I've used spiritual and self interchangeably in everything I've done with this. I've just realized now looking at the PowerPoint I spent all afternoon making. So that's good. So yeah, it's kind of the same thing. We're going to be looking at exploring our personal transformation using the Elder Furthark runes as a model for this. I love the runes. I've written two books on them. I think that's qualifies me, at least in my mind, that I know a little bit about them. And what I love about the runes is that their interpretation can completely be dependent on how you want to interpret them. So everything we talk about here can be put through your lens of the world, how you view the world through the runic lens and this self-development, spiritual development pathway. Because I think it's kind of the same thing in my worldview, spiritual development and self-development. So yeah, that's what we'll be looking at today. This will be about, inverted commas, 60 minutes. Um, and as I've said, you will get the video emailed to you tomorrow lunchtime-ish my time. And there will be a transcript of this as well. And if you really want the PowerPoint, you can have that as well, but it's a PowerPoint. So yes, let's see if I can make this do clever things. Oh, it did things, yes. So welcome to your runic journey. A bit about me. My name is Rich Lister. I am an author. I'm a mentor. I'm qualified in all kinds of fun and exciting things, from being a qualified nurse to a coach, practitioner, yoga teacher, a massager. There's all kinds of stuff I've done in the last 10 years or so, 20 years. That makes me old. So yeah, I've got lots of experience on how the spiritual combines with the practical to make it work for you and me. And this is all my version of how it works in the world. Because I think that using your personal story of evolution helps you learn the lessons that you've learned and bring them forward, moving forward. And that's all about the runes and how they influence the world. Um, I've broken this down using kind of the model of the hero's journey as well. And it does apply to the heroine's journey, but I don't know that quite as well. But it follows the finding the trigger points in your life and working out what you've learned and how you can move forward with that. And we're using the Eldar Furthark runes, which is what I've written about in Runes Made Easy and the Book of Runic Astrology. And these runes are ones I know really quite well, so that's why I'm using them. Yeah, that's about it for about me and what we're doing this afternoon. I'm getting a bit excited and speaking too fast, so I will mentally slow it down a bit. So yes, don't be afraid to ask questions, and if I notice them, because I'm trying to multitask and that's not my strong suit, I will address them as we go. So we start on our path of transformation. Not that I've just watched Agatha all along. This path is the path we move through life, and it's a really good metaphor. I like metaphors and stories of how we can progress from one place to another, because we are not here just to sit and grace the sofa of life. We're here to challenge ourselves and experience new things, I believe. You might have a different perspective. That's cool. Right now, you're listening to my story. So we need to feel what we're feeling. And when we're called to something greater, this is that clarion call to where we're moving forward in life, where we want to go. And it may not be clear because we're exposed to so many different influences in life, from social media, smartphones, etc., and the news, mainstream media. All of these things can distract us from where we want to go. I don't know if you've seen the meme that's going around how would AI distract someone from fulfilling their true potential. This stuff is playbook 101 for indoctrination and things like that, on how people can be stopped from being as epic as they want to be in life. And I'm hoping that as you're here, right now, you would like to be epic in your life as well, because um, I think that's really fun and cool. So yeah, let's be epic. Um, so yeah, walking on the path of transformation from one state to another is how you, I, and everyone I've met and worked with becomes a better human being, a better spiritual person, a better whatever describer you want to stick on the end of that. And this is true from people I've met in A&E, in the ER, who've been having the worst day of their life, but they're transforming from a sick person to a healthy person. When I worked in rehab, it's the same process. When I've worked with massage therapists or yoga clients, it's the same thing. You're moving from one state to another state to lift you up and transform yourself. I'm going to use the runes as a metaphor to do that, because the runes follow the cycle of growth and rebirth really quite well. I can't work out if that's deliberate, because it was written, because the stories, the poems are written down by a Christian monk in the 7th century, but that was before all of the Catholic dogma got codified in the 13th, 14th century. So it's quite a cool thing bringing all this very pagan, very heathen thought processes into a self-development practice based on runes. So we're looking at personal rebirth and growth. And if those words don't work for you, use your words. We're looking at bringing all of our different aspects of this growth to become more empowered, to make your victorious entrance to the world in the way that you want to be. This isn't dependent on anyone else. This is you being you in a powerful and coherent way, and not in someone else's model of life. I've just made a screen really big over this and I can't see what I'm doing. Bear with me, caller. Perhaps that one's it. So yeah, that's what I'd like you to do and to be able to take away from this little intro into this path of transformation within the runic self-development. So this is your personal call to adventure. You may have experienced it in life. We have these all the time. If you're astrology based, if you're signs and symbols based, whatever works for you, you may have felt that call. You might, if you're magpie based, you may have seen those 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 magpies. You may have seen the same cloud fronts. You may be in Florida, and probably not in Florida because you're underwater at the moment, but that's call to change, to activate because of the typhoons that are impacting there now. Or if you're anywhere else that's having a external stimulus on you to call you to change, to adapt, to grow. This is what the call of adventure can feel like on a very external level. On the internal, it's that itchy soul, maybe. Lisa, my wife, calls it sand in your pants. It's when everything doesn't quite fit right and it's uncomfortable. You know, when you go to the beach and you come back and, yeah, that feeling. Except in your soul, in your spirit, that something is greater for you, something's more than, something's different. I'm using very expansive terms, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the move on, the bigger, grander expansion. It can be simply changing from one state to the next, the changing from you on the sofa to you walking down the street, the you in a job that drives you absolutely potty, to starting the side hustle that moves you from that place to a place you want to be in the world. If you want to be in Costa Rica, brilliant. This is that call to drag you there with all the energy you can bring yourself to. And in this call to adventure, this path that you're going to be walking on in life, and hopefully through the runes in a minute, is that any challenges we meet, and this is glib, are opportunities for growth. And challenges aren't necessarily just roadblocks in life; they're mental roadblocks in two as well as, because things like one's ego, one's sense of self can get in the way. That's quite a yogic sounding thing. But if you're not willing to let yourself fail, then it's moving forward and growth and becoming what you want to be in life is really difficult, because we only learn through failure. We can intellectualize it. I'm really, really good at intellectualizing stuff as much as you want, but we can't bring on those lessons without physically doing it and risking failure and risking not completing what we want to do. So, for example, I changed the brakes on my car the other day, first time I've done it. And by risking messing it up and having to call the mechanic out, meant that that was my path to failure. I knew what I had to do and I knew how to cope with it. But by risking that failure, I saved myself a few quid by going to the mechanic, and I got to do it on a Saturday afternoon when I had nothing else going on. So there's risks and rewards in your growth here, whether it's learning how to do CPR and applying it, whether it's taking the risk and applying for the new job, whether it's moving across the country or finding yourself on a beach with a sloth in Costa Rica. That's where sloths live in Costa Rica. And by following your call, this is where your transformation, your growth, is whatever it is you want to call it, like lurks. It's where it grows. It's where it comes from. And apparently, I was thinking interactively when I wrote this, and we should type in the chat. Have you ever felt the call for something more? That sounds like very much like a me thing. Sandy pants, yes, yes, Ken. Sandy pants. Erin, call to help others. I like that. Spiritual life coach, Reiki. That's your path. Brilliant. I like that path. Erin, you've got a nice defined model to follow. Chloe, I hear your call. Max, yes, I like that. Ken, sand in the pants, you can have that. By knowing that you are feeling that call in yourself, I don't know what I've done with that mirror. So there we go. Is knowing that you can make the changes you want to make. This is how like this stuff this works. Oh, more things coming in. Brilliant. Floundering on the how. I'm a process-driven person too, Annette. How is my bane of my existence. I like to intellectualize. Becky, Wild Ways. Everything is shedding, but no idea where you're going. Again, another how. Tracy got the call. Another one. Yes, multiple calls. Natasha, following your call and being stuck. Yes, the path on how we move into this can be quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Daunting, can be quite obstructing in our mental pathways because everyone says, yeah, just follow the call, like I've just done for the last 10 minutes. But how are you going to do this? And if I've structured this right, we should be start looking at spiritual symbols. Yes. The spiritual symbols of the runes are where I sit with this. I like runes. I'm a rune specialist. Runes are my jam. And this is what I'm going to with this. I think I've messed this window up. I can't see it again. Tracy's pushing the button. Ken, you felt the call to stop being complacent or passive. I like that. Actively taking control of your journey, Ken. Yes, grabbing life with both hands. Exactly the same with Tracy, actively pushing the button. Depending on what button it is, if you're working a nuclear thing, don't press the red button. So we're looking at the first steps of our journey into this transformation, into this initiation. Again, choose the words that work for you because words have power. Words are spells. If we're going to look at a witchy thing, spell, you know what I mean? Spell all the different connotations of that word. Choose the words that work for you. I'm choosing runic ones because they work for me and I like runes. And hopefully, because you're here, you're probably looking at that as well. We're looking at the first few runes to start our journey. We're looking at Feyu, which is the start, which is you're coming from a place of hopeful, what's the word I'm looking for? From hopeful stability, where you have a wealth of knowledge. You know what you are, you know where you are, you know what you're doing right now because you're here, you're sitting there, you're doing that thing, you're listening to me where you are doing your thing. And then we're moving through your strength and looking at where your inner strength is. Again, you know this because you live you. Every day of your life, you live you. You know where you are completely epic and where you may struggle slightly. But we're looking at where you're epic right now. And you know it. You may not want to admit it to yourself. And this is what I spoke to about a minute ago about the ego stuff. But you know where you're really, really cool. You know where you're really good at this stuff. And whatever this stuff is, that's your stuff because you're really good at it. I can't say that name, Nadji. Nadji, I can come back to that at the end, but that's not the right context for this bit at the moment. So I'm starting at Feyu, Uraz, Anzus is the divine inspiration. It's Odin's rune, it's the rune of the tongue, it's connecting to your higher purpose. And by realizing that your higher purpose can be as much the things you really want in life. Your higher purpose can be to be treated like a priestess or a Templar. Your higher purpose can be that you just want to be comfortable in life so you can do the things that really fill you up. And Kenaz, knowledge, finding the clarity of where you want to go. Again, that can be geographically, that can be energetically, that can be with work, with food, whatever it is, making those changes to know where you want to go and being sure in your action and know that if even if you mess it up, you can readjust and try again. There's very few things in the world we live in right now that are a complete dead end with things. And you tend to know then there's socially accepted things that you don't do. And Gibo, the gift of the spiritual exchange, nothing comes for free. When you do something, you get something, but you need to make sure you get it. Sometimes it's not clear. Gibo is this. I see it as respect given as the ring giver, giving the energy to pass on to help grow. And when you start walking on your path, realizing that sometimes you have to accept help from others, sometimes you have to accept blessings from others, and vice versa. You might have to help someone else, give them a leg up to get where they're going. And this is how we start to work with ourselves in our world, in our growth along our spiritual journey. By using the runes, we get to bring these symbols and help focus on what the next bit is. So by starting off in Feiyu, it's kind of like the Fool in tarot, because you don't know what you've got. You don't know how awesome you are, because you haven't really delved into that bit of you completely, because we're still going that way. We haven't walked that path yet, but you know that you're having the call, and therefore I'm going to start moving. I'm going to start on my journey. And then we're going to walk into your strength and find out where your strength is. You're going to connect with your spiritual purpose, your divine intervention, your divine inspiration. I can speak to connect to your higher purpose. And this isn't as grandiose as it's made out to be in lots of different teachings. Your higher purpose isn't something like I must transcend the 18th realm of Atlantean angels. This is a practical thing that is, yeah, I'm really good at Reiki, so I'm going to go and do that for a bit and see how that takes me. What doors open? What people I meet? Do I meet a client who's going to say, "Oh, I really need you on set at a Hollywood movie," because of your connection there, and that then helps you fulfill your dream to become an actor or actress. So these things and leaning into your strength and your pathway and having the courage to take the opportunities that arise in this spiritual exchange is how you begin your path to your spiritual excellence, your victory, your self-development, your self-victory in life. This is what we want in the world, I think, and I hope. And which rune resonates with you as we start to move through this? Where do you think you want to be in this first stages of this step down the pathway of this development of life? Is it Feiyu? Do you feel like you're right at the beginning, not knowing what you know, but also knowing that I've got to go? Rado, are you off on your adventure? I may not have put the right runes on this. Udders, the strength of power. Unless I did this in good order. Anzus, the yeah, I've put the wrong runes on the screen. That was really clever of me. Well done, Rich. Let me find some runes. I'm glad I paid attention with this. And because my runes are all scattered, they're all in different orders. So that makes life really easy to see. And we'll see if the screen works. Does it focus on Feiyu? Yes, no, yay, focused. Feiyu, rune of abundance. Udders, where are you? Udders, rune of strength. It's the ox. Where's two ones? This is going to be a useless exercise because I've just had that on the previous screen. How do I go back on that? We're looking at these runes, Feiyu, Uraz, Kenaz, Gibo, to help us look forward. Let's ignore the screen that was just there because I messed that one up. All right. Kenaz is a great rune to look at. Where are we now? Have I missed anyone? Rado. Sorry, Erin, let's go back up. Rado is a great rune for adventures and being drawn to new exciting places. Because of that, again, put it on your car. It's on our Jeep. Kenaz is a great one for seeing in the dark. It's a what am I missing? It's a torch as you walk into the dark tunnel. It's headlights at night on your car. It's seeing where the clarity is in your life. And it's a great one for that. And meditating on. I stick it under my yoga mat when I actually do yoga in the morning. Don't just lie there in Savasana and pretend I'm doing yoga. It's a good meditational aid and focus, putting runes under your yoga mat, under your pillow, or indeed I have them on the car because I can. I'm a rune person. I have little sticky vinyl ones that I've stuck all over the place. So by focusing on the runes you want to build yourself forward with, you can help yourself divine, feel into, manifest the world that you want to live your life in, to develop into, ignoring that screen. So this is a short mega meditation, if you don't mind. Did I see someone was driving, or did I make that up? No, no one's driving. Good. I hope. Those of you without the screen on, please don't be driving. If you're driving, just ignore the split. So I invite you to start off, make fists with your toes, please. So you're squidging your toes up. If you've got socks on, feel the socks around your toes. If you've got shoes on, slippers on, make sure you can feel your feet. If that's a bit much for you, just be aware that you have feet and that they exist. I'll get onto the other runes in a moment, team, but we'll do this bit first. Then I invite you to rub your fingers together so you can feel your hands and your toes and your fingertips, so you know where you start and where you finish. So you know you. Perhaps if it feels good, you can rub your hands over your arms, on your body. You can touch your head if that feels good to you. You don't have to if you spent ages on your hair like I have. Touch your chest, your tummy, so you know where you are in the world. This is a neurological thing, so it helps your body proprioceptor, so it knows where you are. Feel yourself right here, right now. And you know in yourself if you have a trauma response, and if you do, please make sure that you know where you are in your room, where you are in your body, that you can smell the smells that are safe, hear the noises, know where you are in your time, in your space. You know you, because you are in your body, you are here, right now. You are safe. And if it feels safe, you don't have to, I invite you to close your eyes. Bring yourself to a place of stillness. If it feels good to you, you can have your hands on your belly or on your chest.
Yeah, we got one and then one and one.
And I invite you to breathe slowly, gently. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. And as you exhale, I invite you to relax your shoulders as if you're carrying big bags of shopping. You might need to roll them slightly if you've been carrying a lot of tension. And if they do snap, crackle, and pop, that's completely allowed. Follow your breath gently. Know that you're safe. And now I invite you to picture yourself either in the third person, looking at yourself like a movie, or looking through your eyes in a warm, dark cave. The floors and ceilings painted ochre red, with swirls and symbols that feel safe and powerful to you. With pictures, pictographs, hieroglyphs, signs and symbols that make you feel good. Your calling, your power. In the corner, there's a warm fire burning safely. throwing light and heat and warmth around you, through you, and over you. Know that you're safe here at this time. And feel in yourself the way you would like to move forward. What action, choice, or path would you like to take? It can be weird, it can be wacky. It can be something that pushes you out of your comfort zone in ways that you are not sure of. It could be dependent on the symbols that you see around you. It could be a smell that draws you. It could be a feeling of clothes on your skin. Or the sound that you associate with this path that you would like to travel. And know that this path is one you have bumped into in your life and changed direction because it was maybe not even a path, or maybe it wasn't even the way forward you wished to go at that time. Perhaps that path was too difficult, or you didn't know the how or the why of what you need to do. And this is where we're looking into ourselves now, and where your strength and abundance lies. Because everything you need and want to do is within you. And I invite you to feel within yourself where that sensation of completeness lives. Because that energy is there within you. It's coded in yourselves. Perhaps the energy is a bundle within your belly, or your chest, or your head. Feel in yourself and feel the texture of this energy that fuels you on this next step, that drives you on this next step, that opens up the internal barriers to the why and the how. Does it move? Does it have vibration? Does it have a color or a smell or a taste? What does it feel like? Is it soft, hard, angular, squidgy? Is it sticky or smooth or furry? What sensations come to you with this energy within yourself that you wish to bring to the fore? Is it courage? Is it drive? Is it passion? Is it focus? Is it a word that I don't even know that's sitting in your soul right now that wants to come out? And I invite you here in this place, if you wish to, type into the chat box what it is you want to write, share, what's come to you, or write it in your journal, scribble it on your phone's notes, on the back of a napkin, on the back of your hand, whatever feels good, or if you've got a better brain than me, remember it. And be focal with this sensation. Thank you for sharing graciousness, stillness. By knowing that you have the potential within you to do whatever it is you desire, then you can take the change that you need to. And this is the path that's been followed for millennia by our ancestors of blood, bone, and spirit. Potentials within themselves. It drove the northern peoples to leave their homes and float down to the south coast of the UK across rough waves, across the Atlantic to Canada. It drove people to conquer, to live, to grow, to have families in the most harsh conditions. And this is within you, because you're the product of all that love and all that growth that's come before you. This is in you to do whatever it is you are being called to do, even if you don't yet know. And this is part of the power that comes with stepping into your runic journey, your pathway, because I would like you to step along the path you wish to take. And even knowing there's a path means you're walking it in every day, in every way, in tiny, tiny, tiny infinitesimal spaces. You will be moving forward to that. And to make sure you're back in the room and not sitting in a dark cave somewhere with ochre red walls, I invite you to clap your hands together a bit, stamp your feet if that's appropriate where you are, maybe pat your body, peck like a chicken if that feels good to you, just so you know where you are right here, right now, to be in the room. Because being here, right now is why we're here. We're not supposed to be floating around like some fairy in insubstantial ways. We're here to live this life. We're on Earth School for a reason. We're here to learn the lessons and do the things. We're here to be epic because that's what we are here for. To be epic. And that's what I want from you guys and girls and whatever denominations we're using. Being epic is how we produce the excellence we want in the world. We want to be victorious in our lives. We want to develop ourselves into the experiences of life that we want. Before I get too excited, back to the questions. Graciousness, Erin, thank you. Stillness, Natasha. And following those thought processes and feelings is where we can find the ways to the growth that we wish for ourselves to go on this journey of life. We have Kenaz in the runes for their enlightenment. Becky with Anzu's the voice, the spiritual connection. It's Odin's rune. It's the voice of communication. It's Mercury if you're astrology. It's all the communication, the talking, and making sure you communicate how you wish to be. And this is where we are right now. I want you to be as epic as you wish to be in life. And I would like to help you because that's what I'm a helper. I'm a helping type person. It's what I've done all my life. And I help through practical ways because if it's too insubstantial, I get bored and wander off. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to do practical stuff to bring forward your self-development, your spiritual development, your whatever else word development you want to put on it. Because without action, we can't do it. And that action can be making a decision. It can be saying, actually, today I'm staying in bed because that's all I can do. Actually, today I'm spending 9 hours mashing out my manuscript for my new book or my screenplay, or I want to go and be an actor in Hollywood, or whatever it is that you're drawn to that want you to be. Because there's nothing too small or too big here. Because this is your path to excellence. This is your path to your victory. And this is the path that's mapped out for us in the runes. Kenaz is definitely about clarity, Natasha. And this is why it's quite early on in the runic first arc. Because this is how the runes work. They're designed to be a pathway you follow. Someone mentioned earlier about, was it Nadji? I can't say that. About the runes, yes, and the order they come in. The Venerable Bede is a monk from the 7th century, I think he was, in Northumbria, and he wrote down the rune poems. And this is one of the few intact stories we have of the Order of Runes, which is why they're in this order. And they do follow the progression of the standard story, like the hero's journey or the tarot story. It goes from a place of innocence through trials and tribulations to a place of transformation. And this is what I've mapped to the runes. This is how I use the runes to map spiritual development. Because Feiyu is the start of that process. Feiyu is that abundance energy that we all believe we've got. But actually, when we look too closely, we have to be a bit stronger and a bit more focused to move forward to get where we want to go. And perhaps we have to abandon that abundance. Did I just press that button? I didn't mean to press that button. Continue your journey on the full course is the next slide. We'll get there in a second. By focusing on where we want to go and using the runes to develop that pathway, we get to build our path forward in that space. I'll make that go away. There we go. No, it's gone big. Right. Oh, what's going on? All the things are changing. There we go. Back to this one. So I would like to invite you to continue your journey in the full course. This is like the taster of the full thing. There's all my runic knowledge and all the other stuff from Ayurveda through yoga through NLP, runes, astrologies in this spiritual development, self-development process. Because each of the stages as we move through this helps you develop and cement into yourself the changes you'd like to see in ourselves and how we want to initiate change in ourselves in the world. Because by being stagnant, we die. By moving forward and changing, adapting, we live. We have a joyous experience. And I say die, that's quite, what's the word? Quite a final word. Perhaps it's that million little deaths of life gets boring and humdrum. We want to live an exciting life. Do you want to be living out the back of a van with a surfboard, cruising down the 101 or on the Sunset Beach, Bondi Beach in Australia? All of those places are available to you if you want to do that. If you want to be hugging a sloth, I think I've got a sloth fixation. Is that where you want to be going? Do you want to be exploring the darkest parts of Thailand or Russia? Or do you want to be in a Finnish sauna teaching people how to dunk into icy rivers? Whatever it is you feel is the call is completely allowed. And as we move through the runic Furthak, we can feel into the energies of those runes and how they connect to us in the world. And each rune has a path for us to step on and a learning for it. Some of us will need them, or some of us won't. And that's just it, because we've already grown in certain ways. Some of us may be the most focused person ever and maybe use your neurospicy neurology to connect with Thurisaz, the focal rune, which is great. Hyperfocus is really useful. It's not so useful if you're trying to multitask. So looking at where you want to be and how you want to do it. And I'm saying where you want to be, because I've done location astrology stuff, but it's where you want to be in the world in your experience, not necessarily geographically. Erin, you want to come out to your homelands where your ancestors came from in the UK, Ireland, Norway, drawn down that process. By flowing where you are drawn to, you can flow into the energy that you wish to be. And Ken, your wife's family is Finnish. There's energy there for you in whatever it is. Oh, I've done that again. How you want to connect with the world. So I'm supposed to be selling you a course. Oh, I've done it again. Go away. Thing. There we go. So the deeper exploration of this goes down the pathway to the development of oneself. We're connecting to each runes. We've done that. And each class guides you into the learning that's going to help you move forward in the most effective way possible in the way you want to do it. It's all down to your interpretation of the world around you. I'm just showing you the way. I'm, what's the word? Dumbledore to Harry Potter, Mary Poppins to them kids I can't remember the name of, Obi-Wan Kenobi to Luke Skywalker, except without the Darth Vader bit, because I'm not very good. So we're all looking at I'm here to show you the way. So I've walked my way. I'm here. I've done things I want to do in my life, and I've learned how to do this. I want to share with you. This is how I work. I've done a thing. I want to show you the thing, and so you can do it too, because it's fun and epic. Know where you want to be and how you want to be there. Do you want to be wearing a kaftan, wearing all white, doing Kundalini chants all day? Is that you? Is that what you want to be doing? Then do it. Do you want to be boho chic in Coachella in the middle of the desert? Rock on. Do you want to be quietly fishing by a lake or camping out or working in a Manhattan high rise? All of these are things are available to you if you want to make that decision to do it, because it's allowed. There's nothing to stop you. You can do it because that's how life works. Life's there for you to action the way you want to action, not to be passively sitting there. And this course has got 6 classes. There'll be about an hour each to help you build that pathway to your victory, your success in the way you want it. I'm not going to make monetary. You'll make 8-figure salary. No, no, no. This is for your experience. This is for how you experience the world. Because I want you to experience the fullness of the excitement of living the life you wish to live in the way you wish to live it. Because that's the fun bit of it. Everything else is ancillary and will come. Because if you're in the quantum energy of the life you wish to live, which is where the rune stuff come in, it's all quantumly magnetic and quantum theory stuff, which is a bit deep. We can access the energies of the timelines we wish to be on using the runes to get to where we want to be. So what's holding you back? Things that might be holding you back from being on this course with me, on this path with me, is time. This is about an hour a week for 6 weeks, launching at the end of October. That's thinking time, because I know putting pressure on people is something that's a bit much. Fear of the unknown, because we don't know what's coming next. And fear is one of those speed bumps that we have to encounter in life, whether it's a fear of not knowing what's happening, or fear of do I want to commit to a thing, or fear of do I really want to be changing everything up? Yes, you do. Because if you face that fear and decide it's not something for you, you can still course correct and change direction. If you face the fear and go through it, you become a little bit more different, exactly the same way as if you decide that's not for you. You don't have to do anything that is fearful, but is it a fear or is it a terror? Terror holds you in place, fear motivates. Fear is seeing something and doing it anyway. Terror holds you in place. Be aware of the difference within yourself. If it's terrifying, don't do it. If it's fearful, have a look at it and make sure you actually want to do it, or if you really don't want to do it. And the cost. The cost is something that I can help you with because there's a discount with this. Yay, discounts. What about the next one? So, next steps for you guys, you awesome human beings. If you'd like to sign up to this course, it's on richlisted.com, and there'll be a link in the email tomorrow. So don't do it now. Think about it. There's a discount on that code, which I was on the live pool because I can't got the imagination with codes. You don't have to worry about capitals and stuff. That gives you £100 off, which is about $130 if my mental maths is right. Go to richlisted.com, click on Runic Spectral Development, and sign up to the code. Use that code, and the class starts on. I'm glad I paid attention when I made this PowerPoint earlier. It starts at the beginning of November, not the right at the beginning of November, because it's Lisa's birthday. It's a couple of days into it, probably the 5th or 6th. So there's no rush. Take your time, feel into it. But I would like you to join me on this epic journey because it's fun and exciting. And this next slide, journey begins. Recap. Yes, go on the journey. The runes guide you where you want to go. And I think I've given you a lot of information. You can work it out as well if you want to, but don't come to me. Follow the pathway you want to go. Follow the runes to help you generate the life you wish to live. The runes are great. They connect with these ancestral and quantum forces that are around us all the time, especially around the moment. If you've got that app that tells you about the solar flares that are hitting us, there's loads of them. That stuff is all part of how we evolve ourselves. That was a really quite distraction. Sorry, move that aside. The runes connect to us on the journey we wish to go on, and to help us connect to ourselves more deeply, because that's the truth that we can find within ourselves. Like we did in the meditation, finding those places where your courage may live, where your fear may live, where the joy may live within you. And we go searching, we know where they are, and we can activate those energies more accurately, more consistently, and more closely. And your journey is just beginning right now, because you've chosen it right now, because you're here. You've chosen to activate yourself. And this is how I believe the gods and goddesses of the North work. Once you put yourself in that space to be activated, to be contacted with, to be different than you were, then they come poking. They play with your weird, your fate, your interactions with the energies around you, with the people around you, with the animals, the things around you, and will push you onto this path that you've chosen, whether you like it or not. Because this is the choice you've made by being here, right now. That's how life works with runic energies and the Northern tradition gods and goddesses, because this is once you're touching into the runes, you're touching into Odin, Thor, Freya, Gefjon, all these gods and goddesses that are powerful and full of energy. So please realize that you've taken the path now. I can help you. I'm here, ready to help. It's going to happen anyway. But if you're coming with me, then I invite you to walk the path with me for a bit so I can show you the way and show you how to use the tools that you have within you, that are innate within you, to get where you want to go. And when you book, use the discount code. It'll be in your email tomorrow as well. I was on the live call. All one word. Doesn't matter about caps because the system doesn't worry about caps. Okay? Ask me stuff. Yes. Where's my chat thing gone? There he is. Um, Erin, would like to be an epic lady. I've just dazzled myself with the ring light. Would like to be an epic lady who does life coaching, Reiki healing, retreats for lost souls and people that need to find what makes their souls happy. Thanks for wanting to help us on the journey, Rich. Grateful. We can all benefit from this. Yes, you can all benefit, Erin. Good words. Oh, solar flares. We can do that in a second. Um, yes, the runes. I like this. Thank you, Natasha, for my first book. Definitely start using it that way. Ken, sessions will probably be about this time. I don't know what time are you, I don't know where you are in the world. I'm guessing the United States. I chose 5 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, because I think that's mid-morning. I may have made that up. So it'll probably be 5 o'clock because that works quite well with my mentality. Eastern is what, plus 6 hours, minus 6 hours. That's what, 11 o'clock, just before lunchtime. So yeah, that I think that's about this time, Ken. So that's my plan for timing wise. So everyone apart from I think Hong Kong can do that one quite well. Um, Tracy, Northern Gods and Goddesses. Yeah, Goddesses and Gods, sorry. Yes, I like how they connect with me because that's how my mind works. They map directly onto the astro ones, and that's in my book, the Book of Runic Astrology, on how they match together. So because humans think roughly the same way. So yes, solar flares and stuff like that. Who asked about that? Erin. Um, I can't see you now. I made the thing too big. Oh no. Solar flares. There's loads of solar activity right now. I don't know what my phone's being on the camera, so I can't look at it. It's a there's an app that if you do solar flare apps on it's on the iPhone. I don't know about Android, but it tells you when all the flares are, so you can go and see what's going on. And the solar flares are a very energetic energy, which might be where you've got headaches or everyone's just weird right now. Yes, Natasha, my folks are in Kent and they saw them. Kent's far south coast of the United Kingdom, for those of you in America. And my folks saw it. I went to bed early. I didn't see them at all. But that's it. Aura Watch. Thanks, Tracy. Yes, and using runes as protection is a great way to fortify yourself. Things. Algae is the one that looks like a Y with a line down the middle. Is a great rune for protection, full stop. It's like a shield. Um, Also, build your runes. We can cover this all in the course, but we can go further that way. So there's also, have I done a bind rune course? I double check. I'm sure I've recorded a bind rune course, and if so, I'll send it out because it's one that I've done ages ago that you can have. Um, so I got well distracted by the course. Yes, don't do it now because I haven't sent the links up yet. But come join me on this journey to self-discovery and self-growth. Get your discount. Come be awesome. And we can talk about solar flares and quantum ascension and all kinds of weird and wonderful, wacky words that essentially means you have to act to be as epic as you wish to be. Yes, Aaron, right up the alley. If you have any more questions, please ask, because it's almost time for me to go to the chip shop to go and get the fish and chips. Um, and you'll have an email midday my time tomorrow. So that's 5 hours, 6 hours ago. This will be 6 a.m. your time, Ken. and Alberta. Where's Alberta? That's in the middle. Is that Central Time, Erin? Um, yeah, it's midday my time, so 6 hours ago, whatever that is for you. So that'll be in your inbox. It'll hopefully be transcribed and spelt correctly, depending how it works. So thank you so much for sharing your energy. If you have any insights or anything you wish to share with me, please don't hesitate to email me, richard@richardlister.com. I'm not very good at Instagram messages because I get confused and overwhelmed by them. So take your time, please, and I would love to walk this path with you. So please come join me with it, and we can have a lot of fun. Enjoy your day, evening, whatever it is you're doing right now, and be absolutely epic. And then don't worry about anything because you have got everything you need within yourself to do it because you are epic. Big love, awesome humans.